Okay, I'm gonna do a quick recap of this week. I forgot to do it. I don't really care. It is what it is. So, week 15. How would I start? We're gonna start with this. 33-point choke. How? The greatest comeback in NFL history just occurred last week. I'm shocked. I really am. Uh, I am appalled. I'm disgusted at the Colts. Um, if I'm a Colts fan, I just stopped watching all season. That is just inexcusable. Inexcusable. I'm sorry. It just wow, shocking, really. But other than that, it's like wow. Um, yeah, this has been one hell of a week. So the along with the greatest comeback, let's talk about the Patriots uh Raiders game. Sorry if you hear that noise in the background. That's the wind. It is a terrible winter storm going through the Chicagoland area right now. But anyway, about this Raiders game. Not too remarkable. Not too remarkable. Just a basic football game. Patriots rallied behind two touchdowns. That was decent. You don't see that every game. But what happened? Anything? People only care about what happened at the end, and you know what happened at the end. Everyone does. What the hell was that play call? You threw it to the other team in a lateral. I've never seen that before, and I don't know if I ever will again. That is absolutely crazy. I just wow, wow, oh my god. This one I don't even really a boring game, a boring, forgettable game. No one really cared about. The Chargers got a much needed win to stay alive in the playoff race. The Titans have faltered in a game that they really need. The Jaguars are now hot on their trail pretty much at 7-8, and they're playing the Texans next week. So they could very well be 8-8. And looking at who the Titans play this week, they're playing the Texans. So very least you can get that win maybe. But if you lose to the Texans, you're fucked. I'm sorry, but you're screwed. Next up, Chiefs, Texans. This is why I think the Texans may be dangerous for both teams. They have been playing up to competition, really good competition lately. They are so desperate to get a win, and I think versus the Titans, they're going to do it. I think they're going to win against versus Titans this week. I'm certain of it. I picked them to win. I think they will. Anyway, the Chiefs play down the competition. It happens. It was looking pretty weird, but the Texans, they can't play a complete game against the worst team. They would have won. But they played good. They kept them in the game, and for that, I give them props. Chiefs, you survived this one. This isn't really a win to be proud of, but a win's a win. Next up, this one. Good game. Probably the best on the Saturday, uh, the second best on the Saturday uh, schedule. A great divisional game in the snow, snowballs getting thrown. That's what football's all about. An incredibly solid win by Buffalo to clinch the playoffs. So good for them. But yeah, another solid win for them. A much needed win. Ooh, winter storm warning. Shit. Anyway, Chicago winter storm warning. But yeah, solid win by them. Dolphins played good. I'm not gonna make fun of you for playing a good game of football. That, however, three free fucking points, inexcusable. Uh, the Browns, I picked them to win. I think I did. I could be wrong, but I don't really care. Solid win by them. They're making a playoff push late. Is it too little, too late? I don't know. It's not over till they're eliminated, and so far they are not. The chances look slim. You know, You know, the Bears had a slim chance of making the playoffs in 2020. Look what happened. Look what happened. They made it. Anyway, without further ado, um, not much to talk about this game. It was rainy. The kickers are not good. It was just I fell asleep halfway through. It was just a boring game. But if you're a fan of the team that won, you don't think it's boring. There's such a thing as a boring win, but a win's a win. However, when you're a Bears fan, the last thing I want is a boring win. If we're gonna win a game, probably gonna win one more game this year. It's probably gonna be Week 18, and it better be a good one. I don't want to beat Buffalo in these conditions. I want to beat the Vikings at home to finish off the season. That's about it. I'm not gonna be actively rooting for them to lose, but it's in our best interest to lose. Next up, another game I don't really want to talk about. Steelers, played a decent game against the Panthers. Panthers are bad. However, they're still literally alive in the playoff. They're in second place right now somehow. Um, I can literally see every team except maybe the Saints. I can see the Falcons making it. I think the Falcons are going to win it, in my opinion. But I would love to see the Panthers do it as well. Anyway, again, it was the game of all time. This game, however, was worth attention. A huge comeback by the Jags. A pick six in overtime. That was just mm, an amazing game. An amazing game by the Jags. And that is the game that convinced me that they are going to make the playoffs. They are going to make the playoffs and put up a decent game. Do I think they're going to go far? No. But I think they are going to make the playoffs for the first time since Jacksonville in 2017. And good for them. They deserve it. They are fighting hard. They're building around Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields are all coming too. They haven't been perfect. Trevor's had some rough games this season. Fields has had his rough games, and they will have rough games in the future. But they are breaking out. They don't have the most talented teams around them, but they are doing their best. The Jags do have more talent around Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence is just being elite right now. Elite. Um, they got they got their guy. Bears, I think, got their guy. Um, Mac Jones hasn't been doing terrible. Trey Lance, it's not fair to judge Trey Lance. Zach Wilson, though. Let's move down to Zach Wilson. He didn't play terrible versus the Lions, but um, they still lost. And of course, wins aren't a QB stat. I'm sick of people saying that because they use that to discredit Fields all the time. Well, he didn't win. Who cares? It's a tank year. Shut up. However, um, you know, I saw the Thursday night game. He played decently-ish against the Lions. It's like, okay, maybe give him one more shot versus the Jags, a beatable team, on paper at least. And what did he do? And what did he do? That. Let's look up his stats actually. Week, yeah, it's week 16. So his stats, week 16. 9 of 18 passes, 92 yards, no touchdowns, one interception. Um, I think, and let's compare that to Fields' stats this week versus the Eagles. 95 yards rushing, so more rushing yards than Wilson's passing yards. 152 yards passing, so combined probably about let's just say 250, give or take a few. yards of offense, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 119.5 passer rating versus the best defense in the league, arguably. Let's look up Lawrence's stats versus the Cowboys. Another really good team. Okay, so versus Dallas, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Um, he only took 1 sack. He had a 109 passer rating and a 59.8 QBR with 3 rushing attempts for 21 yards, 27 for 42 of completions, 318 yards. And then versus the Jets, another good defense, 20 for 31, 229 yards, um, but no touchdowns. But he did get a rushing touchdown though. So his season stats: 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, pretty good. Let's look at Fields' stats. Actually, I'll just make this a separate video after this. All I'm saying is Zach Wilson, you're yeah, great win by the Lions though, amazing win by the Lions. Zach Wilson is, I know it's a little too early, but I mean he is looking like a generational bust. I'll go over that. I'm gonna make another video after this in a bit, going over his stats, comparing it to all the other quarterbacks in his draft class. Okay, next up, this game. No one watched this game. The Broncos got a much needed win, which is great for the Bears' draft positioning. Because even if we're guaranteed a top 5 pick, even if and a top 5 pick we can still trade down a few spots, pick up Peter from Northwestern, or we can trade down more, pick up a wide receiver like Jordan Addison or JSN. Yeah, but good win by Denver, a much needed win. You just had to win one. Good for them. Next up, the Bucks versus the Bengals. A choke job by the Bucks. One of the worst in Brady's career, I think. And a much needed win by the Bengals. He had to get that one. Great win by them. Thursday night game. Watched a bit of it. It was decent, I guess. Brock Purdy, another solid performance by Brock. Good job. Another game I didn't really watch. The Saints. However, Andy Dalton looked decent. A much needed win by the Falcons, though. You had to win that one, and you couldn't. You couldn't. But it's good for the Bears' draft positioning, though, because that gives us breathing room. Ideally, what I want to happen is I want the Broncos, Rams, and Cardinals to win, and they're playing each other on Sunday. So that means, best case scenario, they tie and the Cardinals beat the Bucks, which means that we all but clinch the second overall pick, even if we win another game. Anyway, decent game. Sunday night football game. A very questionable call at the end there, but the Giants get a much needed win. Um, it could have been 9-5 right now, but they have to settle for the tie. So it is what it is. And then the Monday Night Football game, the Packers pretty much dominate the Rams. The Rams are terrible. I've never seen a Super Bowl hangover that bad before. But you see something new every season. I mean, this season we're looking at potentially the Jaguars and the Detroit Lions uh, being in the playoffs. So, it happens. And then finally, my Bears, Fields balled out against the best team in the NFL, or at the very least, NFC. And admittedly, coming off a bye, I was just surprised. I honestly expected this game to be a 48 to 10 trouncing, but I was pleasantly surprised how close we kept it. Part of me actually believed before that Valus punt, not the punt, the fumble, the Bears could have won this game. They could have very well won this game. And I think it's more on the Bears playing more complete. I don't really think it's just a case of us playing up to competition instead of them playing down to competition. It was a pleasant surprise, even though it was a loss. But other than that, I'm gonna go film the Zach Wilson video. Sorry, I have a cold right now. I'm gonna go film the Zach Wilson video after this while I upload this. That has been your Week 15 recap. Bye.